Oh, you know what? I wanted to
What?
wear one of my headdress costumes for tonight. It's
Oh,
downstairs. I meant to do it and then I forgot. I got sidetracked.
tomorrow maybe.
Yeah, we'll show you some pictures. We have our virtual holiday event with our virtual murder mystery. It's an AI thing, so we're really excited. And good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Hi.
morning. We're a tad late. We got things to talk about.
We're right on
Um,
time. We are
yeah,
right on time for where we needed to be today.
always,
Going with that.
always.
Going with that.
How are all of you in this midweek situation? The midweek before the big day. For some of you, not for me. I don't
What's
celebrate.
the big day?
The big day, holidays, Christmas.
Oh, it's like, what's happening?
Next week.
Yep. Noted.
Right? Somebody's
Noted.
having a birthday. Isn't it the birthday? Isn't it the birthday of the Christ?
It is.
Yeah. See, I know some things.
December's just flying by. I feel like it's both like November 28th, but also February 1st. I'm having like a really hard time with this like intermittent.
I feel like that every day at like 4:57 when it's pitch black. And I'm like, can I go to bed now?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second, it's 4:57. It's not even 5. It's not even 5 o'clock. And I'm like ready to pack it in for the day.
Monday, isn't the 21st the longest or the shortest day? So Monday will be like the shortest and then we start more light, I think.
I don't know.
I think so.
Where's the place that like has no sunlight in the winter?
Alaska?
Maybe. I
think so.
That's weird. Anywho, let's get to it because we are talking about 3 really important things. And it's so funny. The more I create content, the more I realize that there are just a few key things. Like I've really been digging into 2021 and 2020, and we've obviously been having conversations behind the scenes about plans and focus and all of this stuff. And it's like, it's so hard to conceptualize what I'm about to say to you, what we're about to say to all of you, because you have no context for it.
Yep.
And I think that the context that you do have is misleading.
Yep.
And therefore, it creates tension in your mind and in your body because you have an ideal of what you should be doing, of what the correct thing is to do, of what you see other people doing, but you don't actually see what they're doing. You see the result they want you to see.
Yes.
You don't see what they're doing. Like, you don't see what we do.
No.
You have no idea. So
no.
It would blow your mind, frankly. It would blow your mind. But you see the result of what people who are quote unquote successful want you to see.
Yes.
And for those of you who are, actively growing, meaning your revenue is increasing month over month, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But for those of you that are staying in the stuck cycle, like trying and not, I got one client and then, no clients and one client and trying to grow your email list, trying to get clarity, trying to do all this stuff. Like, that's a stuck cycle.
Yes.
And I genuinely think it's because you have a misconception about what really needs to happen. And what really needs to happen is so simplistic that it's actually hard to believe.
Yes, that's the thing. It's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe. And so when we come on here and we say these 3 things, but these 3 things are so simple and yet hard to achieve on your own, that it unless you make a genuine decision to say, I'm going to turn this over to you, like you take the wheel here, and I'll like you're the navigator, I'll be the driver. Like we're the navigators.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
Right? Like
yes.
We're the navigator, but are you going to let us navigate?
Ooh.
Or you want to drive and navigate?
Are you the person who puts Google Maps on, and then when Google tells you to turn right, you're like, actually, I know better and I'm going to go straight? Are you that? My husband is that person.
Were we together when that happened? And we went the wrong. Laura and I are rule followers. Okay.
All the way.
We are rule followers. And I listened to Google knowing that it was wrong, but I was too nervous.
That's true.
I was too nervous to make my own decision. So we followed it until we got to the destination of which we knew was wrong, and then we felt comfortable turning around and going our own way.
We could see our destination over there, and we chose to turn here into a different destination because Google said so.
Right. And we do the same thing when we invest in a skills development or some type of mastermind. We say, okay, you claim to be the all-knowing, you claim to be the expert. We will follow what you say because you have proof. There's precedent for.
Yes.
We're not just going to like, oh, you've never done this before. No, we're not those people.
No.
We're not those people. And I would have stopped had there would have been water. I wouldn't have driven into the water. Let's be clear.
90% sure about that.
I would have stopped right before that. What? But we follow what we are told to do because we don't know what we're doing. And that is not a bad thing. That is why we invested in the first place. Yes. It's because I don't want to mess around. I'm not here to mess around. Right? We just invested a lot of money into a program that's going to teach us how to expand paid advertising.
Yeah.
And I wasn't about to be like, no, I'm going to do it this way.
Nope.
And nor was I going to even try to attempt to do it on my own.
Nope.
Because why would I when someone could teach me? Anyway, these aren't the pitfalls, but it just sort of came to me where it was like, I think that the reason that so many people are hesitant to invest is because there's this misconception that they can be both the driver and that they should be both the driver and the navigator, that because they went to school for X, they should also have this other skill set that was never taught to them.
Yes.
But that it's like a pride thing, maybe?
Yeah. It's like,
I got no pride, so I'm good.
It's like the guy or the girl or the person who goes to a different city and is like, no, I got this. I have a really good sense of direction. I'm going to navigate to this place over here, even though they've never been there before.
Yeah. If this is resonating with you, let us know where, and we've all done this before, where we all think we know better.
Yes.
Or that we should know better, right?
Yes.
When in fact we have no reason to know better. Like and this is what I want from my heart. There is no shame in saying I actually have no idea what I'm doing. I say that all the time.
All the time.
I said it yesterday in a meeting, or maybe it was Monday, I can't even remember now, to someone who works for me. Like I say that I'm like, I actually have no idea what I'm doing. Like there's no shame in that. There's no shame in anything, but the consequence of not admitting that, of saying, I'm going to try this on my own when you have no skill or no context or no mentorship, like no clue what you're doing, the only reason that you would attempt to try it on your own first is because of your pride.
Yes.
It's because of your pride. It's because of ego. That's the only reason. And it's funny because I don't know any other facet of life where we wouldn't take instruction. Like
right?
A recipe, putting together furniture, using a tool, dyeing your hair, you read the instructions, supplements, the recommendation. Like, think of everything else in our lives.
Yeah.
Right? Think of everything else in our lives where we have a navigator, where we read instruction, where we ask for an explanation, where we go and search for the explanation. Yes. And when it comes to one of the most important things in your life, which is your business, you don't want instruction. Why? Yeah. Heather saying, I'm tired of spinning my wheels, stuck with no clue how to get unstuck or why. Exactly. Like, yes. Why are you even stuck? Why is nothing even working? Like, following instructions. Yes. Kate saying something that really stood out for me in 10K was the frequency of how often I wanted to just avoid the hard stuff. Ooh, that's really good. That's a good, that's a solid awareness.
Yes.
That's a solid awareness. And that's, that's true. We avoid the hard things. So let's dive into the 3 common pitfalls. The first one being, and we see this all the time, the first one being no clarity. That's the first pitfall, is not having clarity. So if you and I were to have a coffee, tea, kombucha, smoothie, vitamin C water, whatever, together, right? I should show you all the other cups that are on my desk right now. Anyway, if we were to have a bevy, and I said to you, so what's your revenue going to be like in 2021? What's your big vision for your business? Who's your ideal client? What's the problem that you solve? What is your main offer? How do you sell? Like, do you have clarity? Do you know who you're working with? Do you know what their problem is? Do you understand their mindset? Do you know how to actually enroll people? Do you have a goal? Like, do you have clarity in your business? Do you have clarity?
Specific clarity, not I'm going to do better than this year, or I'm going to make money.
Yeah, or like, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it. You haven't thought about it. What is happening?
I'm just going to do my best. I'm just going to do my best and see how that ends up.
Here's what I'll ask of you. Please take yourself serious. Because when you don't have clarity, all that means is that you're not taking yourself seriously. Because if you don't have specificity, you can't possibly fail. You can't hit a goal that's not specific.
There it is. You can't fail.
Right? So if you're
you need to be able to fail.
Roll the dice and see what happens. Well, guess what? Like, you can't fail in that. And your pride can't get hurt.
Which means you also can't win.
Right.
You can't succeed. You can't succeed. If there's no possibility of failure, there's also no possibility of success.
Right. So clarity. And clarity is really hard to get on your own. Mm-hmm. It's hard to achieve clarity on your own with no context.
Yep.
Which is why we offer fast track calls. This is why we make ourselves available. This is why we have specialists in our Facebook group, and why we have customer service, and why I constantly say, and no one takes me up on it, barely, DM me.
Yeah.
Send me a message on Instagram. Like, for those of you that do send me messages, like, I respond. But it's scary, because then you're now accountable.
Yes.
Right? So, misstep or mistake number 1 is not having clarity. It's not having clarity. And clarity is hard to get on your own. But if you don't have clarity, good luck.
Yes.
Mistake number 2. Oh, this is a good one. And I think you're going to want to talk about this.
You know I am.
Too many offers.
I feel like my entire job for our higher level clients is asking, why do you want to do that? Over and over and over again, because it happens where as soon as you have one thing and you've done it and you put it out into the world one time, I don't care who you are. We even have to stop ourselves from doing this. We just stopped ourselves from, like, literally just did it. You want to go and do something else. And here's the thing nobody tells you. The first time you put something out into the world is not going to be even close to the best time you put it out into the world. It's likely not even going to be good or successful. The second time, probably the same. Third time, even more so. You have to put the same thing out over and over and over to actually get it right, to actually start to see traction, to actually start to, give the thing the legs that it needs from trial and error and failure and success to build something real out of it. And if you're constantly putting something out one time and then another thing and then another thing and then another thing, nothing's ever going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
It just isn't.
Yeah. Again, this is hard to understand, but when you have a one-on-one business and then you sell a detox and then you have a 6-week program and then you have meal plans or you have videos or you have a meditation app or you have physical products, direct sales, essential oils, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you sell this thing over here and that thing. Your business, I don't want to get blamey. Your business is complex.
Yes.
And you know what that means? It's stressful. Complexity equals stress. And simplicity scales.
Yes.
So when you have multiple offers, what that means is each of those offers solves a different problem.
Yeah.
Which means you have to have different messaging for each. You are one person, right?
Yes.
You are one person and it is impossible for you.
Yes.
It is impossible for you to succeed and be successful at selling 5 different things. It is impossible. Yes. It is not possible.
And the people you see doing that, you don't know what's going on in the back end. They have teams assigned to each of those pieces. They have teams who are responsible for each of those offers, products, services, whatever they are.
Yes.
It's not, that's like a 5 levels next kind of situation.
Yeah. So the recommendation is, and I'm not the only one saying this also.
No.
If you go and you look at the business coaches who've been around for a while, 10 years, not the ones who had a minute of success and then decided to become a business coach.
Yes, not those.
Right? Not those people. But those of us who've been around the block, we're all saying the same thing. One offer, sell it over and over and over again until you reach a level where you can afford to hire a team. And, if you look at my business, I did that. I had the Wellness Business Academy that I sold for years over and over and over again. And then I had one-on-one coaching, which I don't do anymore. And then we have the 10K Success System, which is our flagship program. And that's what we offer.
That's it.
Right? That's what we offer because we wanted to simplify things. My business was too complex.
Yes.
And I just made an expensive mistake because I tried to add complexity because it was shiny. And like, listen, I am not devoid of this. It was shiny object. I tried to add complexity. I tried to add another level, and I got a minute into it and I was like, nope, it already feels complex. Complex feels stressful.
Do you know what's funny?
Yeah.
In the last like few years, year after year, the business has grown and we have had less offers, less complexity, year after year after year.
Yep.
Less.
Yep. Yeah. So I just made this mistake, and it cost me money to make this mistake, and it was painful. But this will be the last time, because I kept doing this because I thought that my business should have this, that, or the other thing. I didn't believe that I could hit our big goal with a single offer until the pain of complexity hurt more than the potential of revenue.
Yep.
The pain of complexity hurt more than the potential of revenue. Do you guys get what that means? So if your business is causing you stress, it's too complex.
Yeah.
It's too complex. You have too many things that you're trying to offer, and it's causing you stress.
Yes. And it's probably keeping you stuck, to be honest, where you are.
Yes. Our business this year didn't quite double. It would have, had we not had sometimes. We know exactly the reason why it didn't. We know where it didn't, and it's obvious.
But it came damn close.
But we and we pulled back. We pulled back and we focused. So less is always more. And it's the same thing with your clients. Yes. If you try and make your signature program too complex, it's not helpful.
They can't do it. So they give up.
Yeah. And then the last one is lack of consistency.
Yes.
And so this is really simple. Consistency over time equals success. And over time is not a month.
Nope.
Like over time is not one time.
Nope. Not 2 times.
You don't start with the business of your dreams. That's not a thing that happens. You don't start and then immediately have the business of your dreams. Consistency over time is what matters. And what that looks like is years, not months. Years, friends. Like minimum 3. If you're still around in year 3 and you're not doing at least 10 to 20 grand a month, something's wrong.
Yes. Like 100%.
Something's wrong.
Unless you're just for some reason choosing not to.
Right. Unless you're actively choosing not to, because you only want to work with like 2 people a month. Fine. But if your goal is to have a successful business that generates multiple 6 figures towards 7, because a 6-figure business, you're still broke.
Yes. Important note, actually.
We won't get into that one, but a 6-figure business is $8,333 a month. And that doesn't go in your pocket.
Nope. No, it does not.
If you're in year 3 and you're not making that much, something's wrong. Yes. If you're not consistently doing in year 3, I would even say like 25, 30 to 50K a month, something's wrong.
Yes.
Something's wrong. You're missing a skill set.
In year 3 of actually doing it proper.
Yeah.
Not in year 3 of like, I sit down and do things on the computer, but I'm not quite sure what I'm doing.
Right.
Year 3.
Right. Like you need a business model. But consistency matters. There is a compound effect. And it's interesting because we're seeing the compound effect now.
Gosh, yes.
Right? Like we're seeing the compound effect now in the business where, I am doing less than I ever have in terms of all of that. And the compound effect of the years and the consistency of the morning show, the podcast, the emails, the Facebook group, the consistency of the content is now we're getting the return.
Yeah.
right? We're getting the return, and there's a compound effect. And so it's unrealistic for you to expect that a month in with new, even 6 months in with new people, and you're still learning, you're perfecting your skills, you're trying to figure it out, right? You're like learning. It's unrealistic for you to think that everything you do is going to produce a return, a positive return. It's consistency over time. It's understanding that there's a compound effect. It's understanding that you need to get your sea legs underneath you. Like you need time to figure it out. And sometimes it takes longer than others. I mean, we have clients where they're coming back week after week to the same coaching call with the same question. And we're trying different ways to coach and to try and to test and to do things. And sometimes it just takes longer.
You know what a really good analogy is? Think about children learning to read. Children learn to read at such different rates. And it's the way their brain is. It's the way that they process information. It's the way that they take things in. It's their own level of like wanting to do it and focus. And there's like 17,000 different reasons why kids learn to read differently. But if they keep at it, do you know what? They all learn to read.
Yeah.
They all do. And if you keep at it, you will get there. But if you stop, if you give up because it's hard and you're not seeing a return on all the work you're putting in and it's 4 months in.
Or you're like, oh, this isn't working. I'm going to go switch gears. And try something else. You're never consistent at the same thing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right? You're not being consistent at the same thing. And those are clients who we see that are doing 20, 30, 50K a month, 60K a month, 100K a month. Their business is very simple. And they've done, it's boring, it's repetitive, and they're doing the same things day in and day out. And that is why I was saying at the beginning that it's hard to believe that. It's hard to believe that the business and what you do is repetitive and consistent and not complex.
It's hard to make yourself do that. It's harder to it's harder to make yourself do the same things month in and month out than it is to go squirrel, shiny object. I got this. Let's go try this. That's easier. That's easier.
So much it requires so much self-discipline. To have a simple business.
So much. So much.
So hopefully that gives you some clarity. Hopefully that gives you something to really genuinely think about. Whether you're a clinician in a clinic and you want to move online, or you're a Reiki practitioner or a massage or whatever, but like, we want you to have a really successful business, and we want to help you do it without the complexity. Period. So that's it.
That was fun. Simple.
Easy peas. See y'all tomorrow. Have a good day.